Hi there, in this video I'm going to explain how you can download some satellite images from Earth Explorer portal of USGS. First thing is find your location. Um, I'm going to download something for New York and then click here to drop a pin. You can also drop multiple pins to draw a polygon, something like that. Um, if you want to see the availability of images for larger area. Um, and then after dropping those pins, I'm going to say, for example, the date I want to download something for the year 2021, so January 2021 until let's say end of February 2022, and then I'm going to say only I'm interested in downloading images for the months of summer. Um, and then we go to the datasets. In the datasets, uh, here we can go to Landsat. Landsat, this is the Landsat collection and archive. There are multiple um, types of Landsat uh, images that you can download. It depends on the level of um, you know the process that they had. Some of them are not pre-processed, like level 1. Level 2 is um, mostly processed, and there are also images like ARD that they have many different um, layers, and that also is available for Landsat 4, 5, 7, and 8. Um, I'm going to download something for Landsat 8, and I'm going to download level 2 products. I click on this um, for Landsat 8. Make sure that you are logged in your Earth Explorer, and then I'm going to say results. So these are the available images. There are one of these is additional criteria. Here I can set the cloud cover, for example, be less than 10%. Then results. Um, Here I get these results. So this one, for example, is a good image for New York because mostly cloud free. And now I can just download it from using this option. Um, product product options. Here you can download every single band or layer that it is. But not all of them are bands. Some of them are just, for example, cloud cover. Um, so in this case, I'm going to download all of them. So there is 700 megabyte here. Make sure that you have space in the place that you are downloading. So that's being downloaded. I'll continue the video after the download is finished. Uh, while that my file is being downloaded, um, we need to do some processing after downloading the layers. Uh, Open this page, which is Landsat Collection to Level 2 Science Products. This will explain what you're gonna get um, in those files. They explain number of bands and different products. What we get is um, surface reflectance in this download, which is corrected to remove the atmospheric uh, effects, because our atmosphere also has some um, particles and and mostly water, so we need to remove that impact um, because the satellite is above the most uh, den the dense part of the atmosphere. What we get also, that zip folder includes a surface temperature layer that reads the temperature of every single cell. This this page also explains how we can calculate those values. For example, in order to get surface reflectance, which is the reading of the amount of reflection that we are receiving from the surface, we need to use scaling factor. This is the scaling factor. So we need to multiply that band by this number and add this number um, to the layers, the main bands. Um, the surface temperature also has its own um, scaling factor. We need to multiply the layer by this number and add this number to it. And then that will give us the value of the surface temperature. So the layer, the layers are basically scaled to some integer values, and these scaling factors will give us the right reading and right values. You also get metadata in that zipped folder that you can understand what that the image is, when that image is captured, um, what was the angle, and so many other things. What was the sun's position in that hour? So you get all these information when you download um, this image. You can read more technical things about Landsat. There's another page. Um, you can say Landsat 8 bands. We want to see what each band of Landsat 8 is. This page is what are the band designations for the Landsat satellites. So you have satellites 1 to 5, and then um, Landsat 4 and 5, and Landsat 7, and then we have 8. Um, in Landsat 8, band 1 is covering this wavelength, which is um, very close to blue. Blue itself, the blue color, is the range that this band is covering is between zero point 0.4 and zero point 0.5 micrometers. Um, and also you can see other bands. Band number 2, 3, and 4 are the visible light. So you can use these three bands to visualize basically true color of the surface. Um, other bands like band 5, which is near infrared, is not these are not visible, and you won't see basically with your naked eye. You cannot see these ranges of light. And there are other products that these are for thermal bands. Surface temperature is basically produced from this band, and band 11 I think has some issues that is mostly not being used in Landsat 8, and Landsat 9 is supposed to fix that. You also see the resolution of the product. Um, for example, band 1 to 7 have 30-meter resolution, so every cell size is 30 meter, and this is basically band number 8 is fixed somehow to have a better resolution, and then band number 10 has 100-meter resolution. I'm going to open this card here, go to AGIS, where's AGIS here, and then you want to go to data, and I'm going to say this is Landsat. And then we need to unzip this. Once we move this, we need to unzip this. I'm using 7-zip for unzipping the folders. Um, 7-zip is a free software that you can install. It's pretty good and efficient. And I'm going to say extract files. once it is extracted, you will be able to see um, the contents of this folder. Let's see. Okay, here it is. So these are the images. Um, they are TIFF, TIF. So basically, you can open these in Photoshop, but there's not much you can do there. So I'm going to open them in ArcGIS. I'm going to use saying that my AGIS here, data and Landsat. Here is these are my images. Um, so there are multiple layers here. These are all those layers that we talked about. So these are surface reflectance. SR is for surface reflectance. So you can basically see band number 1 and 2. So we said 2 is blue, right? So if you add that, you will see only the blue part of the spectrum. And as I said, in order to have a to see the right values, you will need to convert this using the scaling factor. These numbers are integer, and then after scaling factor, you will have the right numbers. You also can see ST. I think one of them is, I'm not sure what a tran is. I have to see there are multiple. Let me check and see which one is the surface temperature layer. Um, the better resource for this is actually downloading or finding Landsat 8 Collection 2 Level 2 Science Product Guide. This one actually explains in details every layer of this um, product. And here, if you go to page 18, um, there are a lot of good technical um, details here about the, the layers and their coverage and how the naming, the title of the layer is organized in terms of the date. For example, you can see the date in the title. This one, page 18, tells you what each band is. Here is the surface temperature um, from band number 10. So we want product ST band 10 for surface temperature, and others are surface reflectance of band number 1 through 7. Okay, so now that we know that, I can let me get rid of this from here. I can add band 10 um, ST of band 10, this one, to my um, map. So that's surface temperature. We are going to work with this. I'm removing that one. The nice thing about ArcGIS is you can basically drag and drop this txt file, and that adds all the layers and also RGB to your map. So that's much easier to see the true color map here. Okay, now that you can see that the image is added, and I can go to symbology of this image. And the nice thing here is I can say what is the, for example, blue band. The blue band, we know it is band number 2. We know that the green band is band number 3, and red is band number 4. So once you do those settings, this will be close to true color. Um, and you can see the image. Um, yeah, 234, that's correct. But you also have access to all 7 bands here. And that's nice because I'm going to show you how you can use false color composites. One interesting false color composite is for um, NDVI. NDVI is Normalized Vegetation Indifference Index, and that can show you where the vegetations are. And we know that near infrared bands, which is band number 5, um, is highly reflective for vegetation. And band number 3, if we change that with band number 4, which is red, then we should be able to see vegetation very clearly. And as you can see here, um, the parks and the green patches in the city actually they come up very clearly. Also, that's really good for seeing the water that is very absorbent of those wavelengths, and that's why we see them in a dark color. So you can change, you can play with these bands to create your own color composite using all those 7 bands, and then you will be able to see some interesting